It's Opie and Anthony starring little Jimmy Norton.
I got a hello from, I was in the United Airlines lounge. I had to fly United back to Buffalo. And, 4-hour delay because the flight was canceled, as opposed to the last flight when they lost my fucking luggage. Great airline. And I see a black man just staring at me, smiling.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, did I know you with a wig at one point? And it was Ian Smith. He's bald now. I didn't recognize him.
Oh, fucking Ian Smith. How's he doing?
He's living in Chicago now. That's why he hasn't been around. And he says, excuse me, he says, it overcomes me when I'm kissing sometimes, too. He says hello, and he's doing great, and he looked great, and,
Was he shaved his head?
Yeah, he said K-Fed's actually a really nice guy. He's like, man, it's amazing what the media tells you, because he's like, the guy's the sweetest guy. Like, he said, the show's
He's part of
well.
Celebrity Fit Club, this K-Fed, right?
I miss him. He's a really nice dude.
Right on, man.
Oh.
Dr. Ian Smith is a big star now.
Yes, he is.
He's just a local fucking guy on TV here in New York.
Yep.
Now, did you step up to him, or did he step up to you?
I was sitting there in the lounge. I had a nightmare experience with United again. And
why they cancel the flight?
Mechanical problems.
Oh,
they
you
told
want
us
them to do that.
on the way. Kenny called me 5:20 LA time. He goes, they canceled.
Better on the ground than his face.
Yeah.
Fucking Rickles' face in Casino when he tells that Japanese guy that the plane's broke, and he goes, better here on the ground than and points and looks up in the air. Best face ever.
So they cancel my flight, and I go into the first class United lounge, and it's the international lounge, and so I walk up to the lady after, because some guy lets me in, and she's like, well, you flying international? I'm like, no. And she's like, well, you're not supposed to be in here. I'm like, well, they canceled my flight and wrecked my day by 4.5 hours, so I figured they were just being courteous. And she goes, we don't use this lounge as an amenity for canceled flights. But I guess since somebody let you in. She was like the cunty lady.
How bad did you want to just throw hot coffee in her
Dude,
face?
I wanted to spit in her face. If they would have said, if she would have said to leave, there would have been a problem with me at the airport.
Yeah.
I was so aggravated.
And you know what? There's nothing special in those fucking lounges to begin with.
No.
Maybe a chair that you could actually sit on because there's less people. That's about it.
It was a 15-hour travel day because United fucked up.
And she had to like fucking rub it in even more. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it was like the mom in a bad 80s movie. Like I was the kid from across the tracks who wanted to bang the hot daughter.
Right.
You're not from around here, bub. Fucking
You're Laura Dern's parents in Mask. Come, let's go now.
No, I'm Mask. She's Laura Dern's parents.
Yes.
You said I was Laura Dern's parents.
Oh, well, you could be, too. No, I don't.
She's the greatest. She's not home, big head.
Yeah.
Mom says I look like a lion. No, you don't.
Here he is. Come here, meet my parents. And they're like, oh, Christ, what's this monster walking over here? Oh, shit, that's him.
Favorite things, the sun on my face.
Sun on my face. Things I hate.
Yeah.
The sun in my face.
The sun and the darkness in my face because it's so big it covers all time zones. I hate the sun on the right side and the darkness on the left.
Eclipse head. My whore mother.
Yes, the bikers who molest me after they do crank. The bikers who do crank and then fuck my face angrily for hours at a time.
Oh, look what happened to her crystal meth-lined womb. That fucking monstrosity came out. Oh, Rocky Dennis.
Fucking great movie.
Try to
that
sleep.
shit. So what happened in the international? Is there more to that story? Or that's pretty much it.
No.
Just that she was the gatekeeper and didn't want to let you in.
Well, I was already in, and that's why she didn't ask me to leave. I was really nasty to her, though. I was
Good for
really,
you. Fuck you.
It's like you canceled my flight, and the last flight before that, they fucking lost my luggage. What a shit airline. But at least they had pillows and blankets in first. Continental yanked them.
They yanked the pillows and blankets from first class.
Fucking asshole airlines, man.
And
So
what?
now you
And that's going to make the difference? Make up the difference?
It's amazing.
We understand they're having a tough time, but how does that make up the difference?
Because other airlines did it, so then they did
I love how they're charging for luggage now. Who doesn't travel with luggage? It should be part of the deal.
Yeah.
I'm flying somewhere. I bought a ticket on your airline. Can you please take my clothes too?
I'm Mr. Carry-On now, man.
Me too.
I am Mr. fucking
That's
Carry-On.
the easiest thing to do.
Captain Carry-On. That's what they call me.
But still, I mean, come on. That's just ridiculous.
It is. It's stupid.
I always travel with beach balls, so I have to pack them in my suitcase. I have sometimes 8 to 10 beach balls because I want my room to feel festive when I arrive.
That'll do it.
It will.
As a society, how do we allow this shit to happen? That's what confuses me.
Because you got to fly, and they got control over everything.
How were the flights?
Why did you? Why?
Why did you have to?
Going there.
Who had the problem? Everyone?
Well,
No.
I don't know
Just Ant?
who couldn't have some sort of a problem with United Airlines.
You don't like United?
Let me tell you something. On the way there, we took Virgin American.
Oh,
I didn't. We flew Continental. I mean, United.
I've done the Virgin American. With the sleeper seats.
It's fucking great.
It's the only way to fucking fly.
Great. First of all, you walk in.
Holy shit.
This plane still had like the price tag on it.
Really?
Brandy new.
Brandy new.
Brandy new plane.
Did you have the sleeper seats?
Yes.
With the pillows and the blankets? You're in your own
Pillows,
pod?
blanket. It was fucking fantastic.
You wake up and go, what? I'm in Vegas?
It was fantastic.
I had that once. It's
you go
amazing.
in, they got some nice music playing.
Right.
And the lights over the windows, like there's a strip where the subdued lighting is in there, was like purplish pink.
You feel like you're in a spa.
Yes.
Everything's just...
And then, you know what? You're not sitting in front of a bulkhead either. It's a glass, like, half wall that looks forward, so you're not, like, just staring at a wall. Personal entertainment systems for every seat in there. In, first class. Thank you.
Oh, no wonder.
Oh, see?
Sam, you didn't fly first class?
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, how could they have 20 rows of sleeper seats?
It was great.
Yeah,
great.
That's an experience. It really is.
And I couldn't have had a better flight. The service, fantastic. The flight attendants were they were good. They were cordial, smiling. Then the flight back.
A little different?
United/Continental clusterfuck that they put together, where the second United took over Continental, they did away with those pesky things like pillows, blankets, and any creature comfort you might want on a fucking flight across the country. So
no blankets?
No.
What's
They
that
might
about?
have them if you ask, but no pillows.
Why?
Well, they said it was after the swine flu or bird flu or whatever for hygiene. That's full of
Shut
shit.
the fuck
They
up.
just didn't want to deal with
They
that.
just didn't
Lion
want to fucking
sacks.
deal with it.
Lion sacks of shit. Yeah, so I just start getting an inkling when I walk into the plane, and I always kind of look to the left and look at the flight deck, and I'm seeing instrumentation on there that fucking Lucky Lindy must have used. We were on an old fucking plane.
That's the worst feeling.
Old plane. And
They always say how flying's safe, but, let's be honest, the ones that do go down.
the older the plane, the more shit's been replaced on it and fixed and
Right.
everything else. And, when you start patching shit together.
Yeah.
So it was really old. And so we take our seats, and I'm looking like, what the fuck is this?
Are you in first class?
Yeah. I'm right there on row 1. So I got the bulkhead seat, which, again, Virgin Atlantic had a great bulkhead seat. I had no problem with that. It's like an inch from your face. You're right there with the wall. I couldn't even stretch my legs out.
And
Your legs, you're again.
And you're in first class.
Look.
terrible.
Right. I know people are going to be like, but I'm paying for first class.
So what-
I wanted what I was paying for.
So did they just squeeze another first class seat
I
in
don't
there?
know what these cocksuckers
It sounds like
did.
they should have just got rid of that seat and spread out the rest of first class.
Exactly. I don't know what these pigs did, but you know what? If you're flying first class and you're paying top dollar, you want consistency. The problem I have with first class and airlines is there's no criteria for it. One time you'll pay money, go into first class, you'll have a sleeper seat, great fucking plane, new equipment, it's fantastic. Then you pay the same amount of money, you get a seat that's barely any better than a coach seat. This didn't have a leg thing or anything, not even a footrest or anything. It just went back as much as any other seat would go back. And again, Look, motherfuckers, I know I'm bitching about first class. I know some of you cocksuckers can't understand.
But it sounds like you weren't in a first class seat.
Right. The whole first class
so
section
you kind of wasted your money there.
It was a cushioned seat. That's pretty much the only difference.
The problem I had with it is it's just mostly the leg room. Like the fact that you couldn't stretch your legs to the bulkhead wall. I used to. Everyone remembers how I fought for Continental, and like I'm telling you, they're awful. Now. And the customers, the people who work for them are terrible.
Terrible.
They're fucking terrible.
But
the flight crews are shit.
You turned us all on to Continental.
But they're
so
just
where are we
not,
going next?
They're
Jimmy?
just not nice.
You fly
dude.
enough to know.
We had every time I fly on Continental now, honestly, every time, even if I don't have the interaction, I watch one of their employees being cunty to someone. Oh. Going out, Aunt wasn't on the flight going out. I got yelled at. We watched a woman. She was working in the lounge area. She looked like Francine, actually, with more hair. And she was just being cunty to customers. And I watched the whole interaction. It wasn't like I walked in on the middle of something. I was watching people from the beginning of their interaction with her. And she was just a fucking bitch. She wasn't pleasant. She wasn't helpful. She was just kind of snapping at people. So we get on the plane, and I go to the bathroom and I get out, and I'm just taking something down. I have a mouth guard I use so I could sleep. And she happens to be on the plane now for whatever reason. She goes, I need you to sit down so I can close the door.
Ugh.
And I'm like, I made an immediate decision because I mumbled as she walked away, like, you didn't have to yell, you fucking cunt. I mumbled it, and I didn't say it loud. Because I knew what I wanted to say would have gotten me thrown off the plane.
You get thrown off in a second now. They got you held hostage.
But she didn't say, hey, could you please sit or close the door? I need you to sit so I can, like she had told me 5 times.
Right.
And I had just ignored her. And I'm like, I just watched this fucking bitch being awful to people and rush. It's like, if you don't like your job, and I should take our own advice, but it's like, just do something else then. Like, don't sit there and attack everybody I watch people asking her legitimate questions. And she's just a bitch. Just a fucking awful, rotten bitch who didn't want to be dealing with the public, who is not good at her job.
Who could you complain to?
Oh, nobody over there.
You can go to their customer service, but they don't care because they're all fellow employees.
Right, there we go.
You know who I complain to? The people at Virgin American who will get my fucking business any time before fucking United ever gets it. There's no fucking reason. And then I caught shit from the fucking flying waitress on the trip back on the dumb United flight. You know what? I'm sitting there. It's me, my girl's sitting next to me and stuff, and we're yapping, And they got that safety thing going on. I know, and I'm not being excessively loud. Mm-hmm. We're not just kind of talking.
Well, that safety thing is garbage.
And everyone is seeing it.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Because if a plane's going down, no one's going to remember the safety speech.
Don't worry about it.
Yelling and screaming and trying to save their own lives.
I know the whole thing. I know the whole thing by heart.
Right.
So she turns to me and she goes, I need you to be quiet for that. And okay, I'm fine with that. I didn't even mind that. That wasn't the cunty part. So I'm like, all right, I'm looking, watching it. Then later on, after it's over, she kneels down next to me and goes, where I'm from, you don't mess with your waitress or bartender. Like, hey, I'm not going to get you your shit because you were fucking talking during my presentation.
Holy fuck.
And she looked like Chip, the lady.
Yeah, she
looked
really
like
did.
Chip.
You're paying for this.
Yeah, and I'm paying for it. It's first class, shit seat, and she's giving me crap.
Did she give you your drinks?
She damn well better have, yeah.
But she made them wait last before she went to the food thing. She just started from the back.
Yes, she did.
Really? Wow, you showed him.
That fucking bitch.
Yuck.
But also, I forgot to mention, when we were boarding the plane in Newark, we were going to Vegas. I flew first, but the company flew me first. And Sam, they flew coach. But one of the things is I wanted to bring him on with us because he.
Well, it's a courtesy.
It's a courtesy, and you're allowed to bring your traveling
with you. Right?
You're allowed to bring your traveling companion on the plane with you.
Right.
But this way, Sam wouldn't have to wait to put his bags up and stuff. So Anthony Bourdain was actually on the flight. I didn't know it until I was on the plane, and we were pretending not to notice each other. And
Is that true?
Of course. It's why it's by the it's.
Wait, explain that.
Oh, one second. So,
Okay.
so we're getting on the plane, and Bobby and I were sitting together, and so we had Sam come in the line, like, come on with us, and the woman told, well, we don't allow that anymore. That the bitch who looks like Francine said, we don't allow that anymore. So basically, if you're flying in first, you're not allowed to bring your travel companion on. You're supposed to just leave them out in the lounge.
That's just another dumb courtesy. That was nice.
But he came on, and so when we were leaving Vegas, I asked the people, can we bring him on?
Right.
And they're like, yeah, you can still do that. So basically, another example of how that woman in Newark just didn't know her job.
Didn't know
and
her
was just being a
shit.
bitch.
Was being
just
a
being a fucking
twat.
bitch for no reason.
Probably knew her job and kind of likes the power thing.
But she lied. She
Yeah.
said that we
Yeah.
weren't allowed to do something we were allowed to do.
Well, people lie all the
She
time in their
lied.
jobs because they like the power trip.
What a bitch.
So I didn't know Bourdain was even on the flight, to be honest with you. He was sitting directly in front of us. I had no idea it was him.
I'm surprised by that.
And then
Your radar is always up for celebrities.
Yeah, but then I'm going to the bathroom. I saw him look up and then look down real quick. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but people always say to you, why don't you talk to these guys? Why don't you? That's why. He's fine. He's a big UFC guy. He doesn't have any reason to be fucking friendly to me. But not even like an acknowledgement that he knew who I was. It's like, I know it. That's why I get pictures with these guys and then fucking ignore them. Because any interaction you have with them is a fucking lie. It's not a real. He was on the show. We had a nice time chit-chatting.
Right.
And again, that's where it ends. Right there. It begins and ends right there. There's no real
Connection being made.
That's why I look at them like that.
Right.
Because they're like, we had a good time. We chit chat. We're promoting his book, and not even a hey man, how are you?
Well, Mark Wahlberg remembered us, and that's right.
But it's like a little silly thing like that. Like that was just, you know what? That's what it is.
Right.
So we have to interview Bourdain in Comic-Con when we go. I guess.
So bring it up.
Of course I will.
Maybe he's just shy.
Yeah, he's not shy. He's, please. He didn't
Please.
give a fuck. And that's,
Please.
again, I don't hate the guy. So what? I didn't say hi either, but I consciously saw him look up and act like he did, and then look like, all right,
Oh, boy.
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was it. And I was able to get Bobby pretty good, though, on the Continental flight. I asked the stewardess if she had the big seatbelt extenders. I leaned over, I pointed, I go, Bobby, I go, excuse me, do you have, and I pointed at Bobby, I go, do you have the seatbelt extenders? Because I think he goes, I got it. I clipped it. He's all pissed. Bobby is a fucking, he's a force to be reckoned with. Like at the UFC, I was sitting next to him, and I think he thinks he's skinny Bobby because he leans over to talk to you. Now you got to realize where a head is on someone's body. It's right in the middle, it's center line. And you got all this other real estate, which is your body. So when you lean over to talk to somebody in your chair and you're leaning your head over, by the time your head gets close enough to the other person's head, your body has been there for a while now, He was literally knocking me out of my chair.
To lean over to say
lean over
something to you.
to talk to me. And he's a big guy. And he doesn't know his own strength. He'd try to tap me, like to say, hey, check this out. And it was like I was being backhanded, like a spinning back fist to my chest every time.
Spider-Man?
Yes.
For the people that have seen
He didn't know his own strength.
And he's next to me, too. Bobby's between me and Ant. And I have my camera thing on my side like I always do. So I kept sitting down and my camera thing on my side, which is like a gun, kept bumping into Bobby. He goes, dude, your camera keeps hitting me. And he's like, you should move it. And I'm like, the camera's not the problem.
Exactly. Anyone else sitting there wouldn't be an issue.
You're the first person I've ever hit with the camera. What does that tell you?
The thing about Bobby, he's easy to goof on, but man, you go too far, he will knock your head off your fucking
Bob's
body.
a fucking psycho.
Yes.
A
lunatic.
And you don't really know where that line is. The one thing that is going to just make him go, I'm going to now rip your fucking head off.
Yeah.
Well, let's. How was the trip out there? Any stories? Anything good? Basic?
We interviewed. We got.
No, I mean the actual flight. Sometimes that shit's good.
Oh, no, we I slept on the plane mostly. I sleep well during day flights. I don't sleep at night. I'm such a weirdo. I can sleep on a plane during a day
So
flight.
you got out there with no real stories.
Nah, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sam, this is your time to shine. What the fuck happened? I wasn't there.
Well, I was thinking about the flight out. I don't even really remember it at this point. We've been traveling.
oh,
a
it
lot
was
together.
another shitty Continental plane. Another shitty United
Oh,
plane.
yeah, no
United.
TVs.
No TVs no TVs at all. No movie at all on a 5.5 hour flight.
Not even the drop down.
No, nothing. And they put me on
is this?
and they put me in first, and it was a shitty, thin seat that hurt my back. And believe me, I'm not being a twat. It's a temporary seat.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh, my
horrible,
God.
another dog shit.
Wow.
United flight, and I was complaining on the way home to the people, like when I checked in San Diego to come home a few days later, and they were like, "Yeah, a lot of their planes, like even the people behind the counter knew that the equipment's."
It's going to take one of these things to just plow into a fucking mountain because something was fucked up.
Well,
They're flying ancient machinery.
No, this is a new plane that just had temporary cabin.
What?
It was a new plane that they hadn't put the good cabin in
Oh,
yet.
see, now I sound like a buffoon.
No, you don't. But that's what anybody
Well, I
would
do
have
anyway.
they've got none of their shit together though, because like the plane ride out there, they didn't. Their scanners weren't working.
Scanners.
So they had to rip the barcodes off our tickets and just
Yeah.
kind of hold them to have record of who got on the flight.
Right.
Barcodes. Is that so your bar don't get cold or something?
Code, not coat.
Oh, God.
Correct me. I'm getting laughs.
Did you hear Chip a lot over the weekend?
More on this trip than any
Ever?
other trip for sure.
Wow.
But so they collected the barcodes, and then I got a call on Saturday because I left Sunday morning from Kenny, who said, "Sam, you're in San Diego, right?" I was like, "Yeah, Kenny, I'm in San Diego," and he was like, "Because this fucking airline keeps telling me that you didn't get on your flight," and I was like, "Kenny, yes, I'm here with Jim. We flew down together. They had canceled my return flight."
Oh, great.
Because they didn't have record of me being on the going flight.
Do you believe these pieces of shit? Like, say Sam had an emergency and went out earlier. Who the fuck are they to say when you got to take the return flight?
Yeah, just because you didn't take their fucking flight out there, they cancel your flight back.
And by the way, I did take their flight out there.
Yes, you did. It's because their dumb scanners were broken.
Scanners.
So Kenny had to be on the phone with United for an hour trying to convince them to let me back on the flight that I was booked on from the beginning.
Wow, man. They are the worst.
They're terrible.
Terrible.
Well, who else you fly?
Virgin Atlantic, American.
Let's get some,
Virgin Atlantic
let's
or
get
American.
some solutions
Yeah.
going
Delta.
here.
They're all shitty though, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But
What about the JetBlue?
United's
They're
got
okay.
it. Yeah, JetBlue.
I like the JetBlue.
Fine.
They make it seem like you're having a party in the sky.
Yeah.
They keep it a little fun.
Free chips.
What's that?
Chips.
They get,
The blue ones, right?
Jimmy, I saw your tweets. You left us on Thursday to do the Montreal Comedy Festival.
I did, yes.
I want to know how it went. I want to know what the fuck happened because you weren't able to fly right away. You had a shitty day at the airport, and I want to know about your wallet too.
I had a 10:40 flight. I wanted to get up there early because I was supposed to be We had a show Thursday night. It was a live event Friday on a Canadian thing called the Movie Network, which is their HBO, and it was going out live. So
How many people do you think?
I don't know. There was 3,000 in the theater, but I mean, I
No,
don't
how many people watch something
Millions,
like
I
that?
guess. I mean,
Millions.
It was a big show.
Wow.
Saget hosting. It was a dirty show. Myself and again, Amy was on it. Jimmy Carr, who's a really funny fuck from England. Mike Wilmot, who's a very funny dude, Canadian dude from
Canada.
England. Yeah, no, but he lives in England now. But there were some really funny people on the show. And Triumph was on it. Smigel. It was just a really good show. So I'm supposed to tape this fucking food show during the day when I get up there. This guy who eats nothing. He's like Sam. He's like a guy who's only eaten a few different meals.
Yeah.
So, they have comedians taking him out for these weird meals. So I get to the airport for a 10:40 flight, and the storms are beginning. And I'm at United at Newark Airport, and they say your flight's canceled. So I'm like, fuck. So she says the next 3 flights are canceled.
Oof.
She goes, but there is an Air Canada flight out of LaGuardia at 12:55. And it's like, I have like 2 hours to make it. So I walk to the Air Canada desk in Newark real quick because she hands me this fucking transfer ticket because they're both part of the Star Alliance.
Oh, the Star Alliance.
Yeah. So the Air Canada flights out of Newark are also canceled.
Yeah.
So I fucking hop in a taxi in a panic. I get to LaGuardia. Turns out this now flight is delayed 2 hours, the one I'm going to. But at least I know I'll make it.
Yeah.
So I walk up to the desk at Air Canada, and I present them with my ticket, and they say, we're not honoring this.
Oh.
And I say, but why?
they're part of the Star Alliance.
I say, you're part of the Star Alliance. And they go, well, no, we have to take care of our people first. So I say to the woman behind the counter, well, why would they send me here on a ticket that I can't use? And she says, probably to get rid of you.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's what the woman working for Air Canada says. She says they do it all the time. She goes, they wanted to get rid of you, so they sent you here.
Holy
So
fuck.
I'm at a point.
That's a huge inconvenience.
It's a big
To get rid of you.
That's not quite customer
It's
service.
a terrible insult.
To go from
Yes,
Newark
it's
to
an
LaGuardia
Yeah.
at
So-
that time is a major inconvenience.
I'm livid.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm going to get arrested in the airport.
Wow.
I'm so angry. So I walk over to the United people here in LaGuardia now. And this, because I've gone to LaGuardia, the Air Canada people. They're the only ones that do Montreal flights. She says all of our flights are sold out until 8:30 tonight. We're taking care of Air Canada people first. You're a United passenger. You're not one of our passengers. So I walk to the United thing. I look into an office. There's one of those doors are open. They're never open. And I see two guys in ties.
Just laughing at their customers.
I wa-
pointing at TVs of their customers going, look at this
handing
idiot.
out ropes. Yeah. So I walk in and I plead my case, and they're sympathetic because it's from. They're like, no. Well, she wouldn't send you. She wouldn't send you to get rid of you. So this guy comes on shift and he walks into the office. They're like, hey, see if you can help this guy. And I guess he's the shift manager for customer service for United at LaGuardia. His name is Sal. White guy, glasses, maybe late 30s, mid 40s. Very nice guy, very helpful, and he tells me the Air Canada people are wrong. He says, this is a confirmed reservation. I had upgraded to first with miles. And he goes, you're supposed to be on this flight. So he marches me back to Air Canada, and he says, this guy is absolutely, it's a confirmed reservation. And they're like, well, he didn't get a ticket, and they're supposed to call over here. And he said, you're part of the Star Alliance. She's like, we're taking care of our passengers. He goes, he is your passenger now.
Yes.
It's a perfectly valid reserved seat, and they're going back and forth.
Nice.
And he goes, I want to speak to the, I forget what they're called, but it's the woman who runs.
Mr. Canada.
That's right. He said, I want to speak to Air C. So he gets the head of Air Canada, whoever's on charge of Air Canada at Newark, at LaGuardia. And they have the final say. They're the complete boss. They will not honor the ticket.
Wow.
So now I'm saying that I have no ticket to Canada. I have no ticket.
What did the guy say to you after he went
goes,
to
they're
bat
not
for you?
honoring it. I mean, he goes, and I said, he goes, we would help you, but everything, he goes, everything we have is through Air Canada right now. And he goes, everything we have in the Midwest is closed because of the airports.
So he walked away from you?
No. He stood with me. He was
Okay, all right.
This guy Sal was a good dude. He did what he could. Like, I knew he tried to help me, and he really pushed for me. But it was either that or he had to strangle. He goes, simply, she's wrong, and she won't take it. So I buy a ticket because now I want to just try to go standby. So I spend $1,500 for a first-class ticket because they say that class of ticket will help me on standby lists for earlier flights because it's a much higher ticket than most people have. And so I want to put myself ahead of the list as much as I can. So I spend $1,500 on a ticket. I had a $400 ticket. $1,500 for a 58-minute flight.
Oh, my God.
So I go. Sal does what he can for me. I go to the, I get on the standby list. I go. And they tell me I'm in the top 10. But, of course, I don't realize that I'm in the top 10 of people who already have later tickets and want to go earlier. That does not help me when it comes to people who have been what they call, not inconvenienced, but people who have been displaced, which means their flights have been canceled. They take priority over everyone. So I hear name after name after name. Basically, I hear, could not Jim Norton, anyone but Jim Norton, not James Norton, not Norton, not Norton, not Jim Norton, not Jim Norton, no Jim Norton. They call 30 people for the 12:55 flight, which is now 2:30.
Was it really 30?
At least.
Holy fuck.
I was not one of them.
Oh, my God.
That flight,
I'm livid right now.
Yeah.
That flight comes and goes. I have now a 5:30 flight, no, a 3:30 flight, and a 5:30 flight, and then my 8:30 flight, which, of course, I wanted to do my warm-up show, which happened at 10 p.m., and I'm like, I'm not going to make my warm-up show at 10 p.m., so the 5:30 flight is about 5 minutes away. I go up to the woman.
Wait, you left here at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. or 10:45.
And now what time is it at the airport?
It's
Oh my God.
it's probably it's going on 3:30 now at one point.
Oh my God.
And I walk up to the woman behind the counter and I say, "Look, they're not treating me like a displaced passenger. I'm a displaced passenger on United." And she was very nice. She goes, "Yeah, but we have to take care of Air Canada passengers." I'm like, "Look, they gave me a reservation. Air Canada wouldn't honor it. I bought this J ticket for $1,500 to get on an earlier flight. They're not honoring my ticket, but they're not treating me like a displaced passenger. It's like I'm a platinum flyer on United." And it's like, I know that you have to take care of your other passengers, but if you're part of the Star Alliance, and I'm like, what's the use of having partnerships if you're treated like garbage?
Yeah.
So right as I'm literally hearing all these names again, and I'm not getting on. And then she looks at me and she calls and she waves me, goes, "Mr. Norton," and she brings me up. And I said, "I want to hug you." And she goes, "We got you on." And she gives me a seat. I'm such an ass. I didn't mean to. I'm like, "Well, oh, do you have an aisle?" And she goes, "No, the flight."
Oh, Jesus.
But I wasn't I'm like, "I'm sorry. I can't believe I just asked that." So I got on the flight and I landed at probably 6 p.m. because the flight was already late to begin with. So I got in at 6 p.m. and that was my travel day.
I understand why people, and I'm not talking about this Colorado shooter,
but when people walk into government offices, now I'm not saying you should do that, but we've all had those frustrating feelings where it's such a bigger entity than you, and people are like, "Well, how could they just walk in and start shooting people?" Because the way you're treated is like you're facing this faceless organization who has no caring about your situation. You can't make an impact on them. "I can't help you, sir. That's the way we do it, sir. Sir, I'm sorry. We're sorry for your inconvenience, sir," while you're on the phone. There's not 1 ounce of humanity or connection from them.
And it's the power to destroy your life in the interim here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're crazy, I can understand why you think. Again, I'm certainly not encouraging people to do that.
We don't want.
No. But I mean,
don't want anyone doing that.
people are like, "Well, how can they realize that they're not realize they're shooting people?"
Right.
Because they're not treating you like people. They're not behaving like individuals or treating you like one.
Yeah.
It literally is like a fucking robot that is just plugged into human beings and spitting out information to you.
Yeah.
There's no way where you can go, "No, but this is what happened," and they go, "Oh." You never hear that during a conversation. "Oh."
Your whole thing on Twitter about United was infuriating me. It was infuriating to read.
Well, I finally did resolve that. I gave a brief synopsis of what my flight got canceled, and I'll be very brief with this. My flight got canceled because of weather, which is understandable. The lady behind the desk at United hands me a ticket for Air Canada, which is their Star Alliance partner. So I go there with a ticket in my hand. She tells me, "You give this and you can board the plane." I get there. There's no flight for me. They say, "We're not honoring this." So the United rep from LaGuardia, after I paid $130 for a cab, is now arguing with the Air Canada people, saying this has to happen. They're saying no. Their highest person there refuses it. Turns out the United lady from Newark should have called Air Canada because within 24 hours, I think the airline has the right to refuse passengers. Whatever. Okay, it was a miscommunication. I pay $1,500 for a ticket to go 8:30 that night. That's all that's available. So I want United to reimburse me because I paid $440 for my original ticket, and I want a reimbursement. This is what it cost me to get the ticket. And then United is saying me, this fucking guy in Hawaii, this motherfucker, this customer service rep in Hawaii is saying to me, "Well, sir, I mean, this cocksucker said monies." He said to me, "We're not responsible for monies spent on other airlines." And I said, I understand that if your flight was canceled, and I voluntarily went to LaGuardia and couldn't get on. But your lady handed me a ticket and told me it was good.
Yeah.
So you put me in a position where that was the only flight available. I could have went to JFK and flown American. I could have flown Delta. I could have waited here for a later flight. You did put me in that position.
Mm-hmm.
He would not bend. So out of $1,500, he wanted to refund my ticket and give me a $300 travel voucher. I said, "Why do you want me, the customer, to eat hundreds of dollars when a direct mistake by your agent did this? Why would you want me to eat this money? Why would you? How can you, in good conscience, ask me to eat this? It's ridiculous." wouldn't bend, and he eventually hung up on me. So I said, he goes, I'm going to have to terminate this call because I'm a platinum flyer, but I'm not a 1K flyer. And he kept reminding me, I only took this as a courtesy, sir. I only took this call as a courtesy, which was a way of saying, take what I give you.
Yeah, that's not courtesy. When you tell someone it's a courtesy call, it's not courtesy
Fuck
anymore.
this
I
guy.
was so
Right.
aggravated at this guy's smug, and he wasn't rude. Like we didn't curse. And I said, "So you're gonna hang?" This is he was on the phone with me for a while, but I said, "So you're going to hang up on me?" And he goes, "Yes, I'm going to. I have to terminate this call." I said, "I'm not yelling. I'm not being rude." And then click, he hung up on me. And I had told him, "You're going to lose me over $400 or $500, whatever it was." I said, "You're willing to lose me as a customer." So I got on Twitter on a rant, and I was like, "You know what? Okay, you want to fuck me for $1,500? Well, I will simply tell the truth about what happened." And enough people who have choices. I'm not going to bring down United Airlines, but there are people who go, who do we fly? You know what? Fuck them.
It's going to be more than the money they could have
A
reimbursed
lot
you.
more than the money
Yep.
they cost me.
You're going to get your $1,500 back easily in another way.
Tenfold, because most people, when they're going somewhere for vacation, will look at airlines are comparable. Do you want to fly American? I don't give a shit. So that's how you eventually win.
And I'm sure a few people will do that for you.
But I did speak to another rep from, because I called some fan on Twitter, sent me contact information for the high up. So I called the office, left a message. Woman called me the next day. And I explained my whole thing to her. And then she was saying to me, well, we didn't twist your arm, sir, and make you. And I said again, by putting me in that position under the guise of having an airline ticket, you absolutely did twist my arm. Of course you did. And she goes, well, United would have issued you a ticket the next day. And I'm like, but I miss why I had to be there.
Yes.
And I could have gone to another airline. I said, if it's just a flight cancellation, you're right. But you gave me, and she goes, well, it's not our responsibility. I said, you gave me a ticket without calling them like you were supposed to do to confirm that it was, in fact, a ticketed reservation.
An actual ticket that you could use.
An actual ticket.
Right.
And she said, well, it's not our responsibility to know the policies of our airline. I said, you're saying to me that as a member of the Star Alliance, you're in business with Air Canada, but it's not your responsibility to know their policy. It's mine, the consumer. I'm like, you would have me eat that money
Holy
when
fuck.
you, the air, like they were so intent on being right. And then something in our, and again, neither of them were rude to me. I can't say they were. She said to me, hold on a minute. Like she looked at something and she goes, can I call you back? She called me back. 15 minutes later, sir, I went into the records and and I'm sorry. She said, I didn't realize this happened. I forget whatever it was, something with the date change. She goes, here's what I'm going to do. They refunded my ticket, and gave me a $900 travel voucher. So I think I was out like $100. So I was fine with that. She gave me pretty much what I had asked for, which was just to break even. Like I didn't want anything. This was not a punitive damage.
You're not getting a settlement.
Yeah, I wasn't saying, because when the guy was saying to me the day before, sir, I'm like, you're not doing me a favor. I'm like, I'm not looking for, hey, you inconvenienced me, what can I get? I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. I just want what you cost me.
Hey, I just want what's mine.
Just want what's mine. But she actually did the right thing, and so I was fine with that. But when you're dealing with a company like that, like, when I told that guy, I'll go on the air with it, and I won't slander the company. I'll simply tell what happened. And I knew he wouldn't care. And that's why I said it, because I knew he wouldn't care. They don't give a shit.
No, I know.
Like, they don't care if they lose you. And this woman did, and she called me back. But when you're dealing with a company like that, now imagine dealing with the government, who's worse than the... Because the airlines can be bent if you call enough people, because they are more customer service oriented than the government is.
What I heard in there, unfortunately, is, I mean, good for you. You got a phone number that the average Joe doesn't get.
Right.
You got to a level where they will get things done.
Thanks to the
if
fans,
you could figure out what that phone number is, or if you got the inside track like you did.
From a fan,
But the average people that this happens to, the level of phone numbers that you have at your disposal isn't going to get much done. I always ask, as soon as I have an issue, I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. Who is the most powerful person there right now? I do it all the time. And they get really insulted, and they try to fight back a little. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you. You're nobody.
You're nobody. Who is your superior? Who's your boss? I want to talk to that person immediately.
It's amazing how they protect the companies. It's almost like, I understand protecting the revenue of the company because it is your job, and the public are greedy pigs. Like, I do get that. But the guy the day before acknowledged to me that the agent was wrong not to call over. He goes, but I can't give you the full ticket. I said, by refunding my $400, you're acknowledging that her mistake makes me entitled to that $400. Why won't you acknowledge that you owe me the money I spent on another ticket to make up for that mistake? It was my only up.
Why
and
is
then
it when
day,
it's their mistake, they can only give you some of it back? That's amazing.
Why do
to
we
me.
split the difference?
It's
when
amazing.
It's your mistake.
Yeah.
I said to him, would you take less on your check, dude? I wasn't even yelling at him. He's like, I can't get into hypothetical. He was a condescending, smug dude. The woman the next day was much more helpful.
And the sad part is these people have the same shit happen in their regular lives.
As consumers.
So they almost should understand. But I think they get off on
you
it.
get shit on. You want to shit on somebody else.
I think they get off on the fact that it's sort of a power trip for them.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But the government's even worse because the government is unbendable when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like, at least this way, they are a customer-based operation.
Yeah.
So you'll find somebody, if you go a little bit higher, that does care about your satisfaction. I mean, I was going to go all the way up to I think his name is Jeff Smizek, the president, or the vice president, as much as I could have. I would have gotten through to one of them with a letter or an email.
Right.
Eventually, they'll hear you. Government doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't care. Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
Plus the fact most people wouldn't continue like you did.
Right.
You give up along the way because it's just so infuriating.
Right.
You're like, you know what? It's not worth me getting sick over. So you fucking go, oh, well, and you drop it.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel bad, like you said, because I'm lucky I have a fan base. I can go on Twitter. And people really do help you because people understand the frustration and they understand that just because I do radio or I'm a comic doesn't mean I don't deal with the same bullshit. So they want to help. And it's almost like they want to help because they know when they deal with it, nobody helps them.
Yeah.
And the fans were great, man. They really did help me a lot. And I know United read those tweets.
And I hope if we discuss it on the show, maybe there's a little change. Maybe it helps someone else down the road. Who knows? Who knows?
Jimmy Norton, you just got back from California.
Yes.
And you flew the American Airlines.
I did. And I read the same United story. I had an issue with them, but nothing like United.
Oh, my God. The United thing. What happened? What was your issue with American?
Leno always flies me. They fly me first. And I get to the airport. And I'm in the lounge relaxing in gentleman fashion. And they say, will James Norton please come to the front?
I don't like that.
So I go up and the woman says, listen, the seat that you're sitting in, we have to inform you, it doesn't recline. The footrest doesn't work, and there's no tray.
First class?
Yeah.
The fuck kind of ghetto plane are they putting you on?
I was really annoyed. I'm like, well, what? I mean, it's unacceptable. And she goes, well, there's couple seats in business class, but the business class seats, neither the leg rests aren't working in either one of them either. The two that are available.
What the fuck?
So I'm like, what's the matter with you people? You're flying old planes. But the woman was so nice. The customer service was so nice. She's like, we're going to get you a refund. I'm like, I don't care about that. I mean, that's NBC, but fine. I'm like, I just want to get on the plane, miss. I don't want all the overhead space taken. So she gets me a seat where the actual leg rest works in business. Whatever. It's like, that's luxury problems. So I'm sitting in the chair, and it's fine. I'm like, I'm mildly annoyed on principle, but I'm fine.
Right.
So I'm sitting there before the plane. She walks onto the plane and tells me that the receipt has gone through, and then hands me a travel voucher for $1,000.
Whoa.
Jesus.
$1,000 travel voucher because of the inconvenience of the downgrade. And I was like, I want to write a letter because she was so nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
She was nice to me even when I wanted to be the angry customer so much. But I wanted to say, why doesn't United, these shitheads who fight you at every turn, hire someone like this? Who just because now that the problem has been handled, I feel like okay, I'll fly American anytime.
There must be a policy in place at United where they just
suck,
don't.
Dude.
They either don't hire nice people, or people are trained when they get a job there to just be fucking scumbags. They're horrible over
That's
at
how
United.
Delta is
terrible.
too. It's they're
Delta's still an airline. Christ.
All right, look. We all don't
No, I'm
have
just
radio
saying
and TV shows. Some of us
Believe
got
me,
to fly Delta.
I was flying shit United.
But here's the thing with that, like that experience you had with a nice lady. Nice lady was.
Thank you, nice lady.
Nice ass.
I really think that you find these like diamonds in the rough in the airline industries, because everybody's such a fucking cunt, and then you find somebody like that, and then you also see these stories of these stewards freaking out and saying crazy shit and running off the
On the
planes.
plane,
whatever.
right, yeah.
I really think like this industry is starting to implode. It was getting so much pressure and flack from the outside for so long, and now from the inside, they're starting to say, fuck you and fuck this, and it's starting to crumble from the inside now. I really think that's happening.
Maybe. I mean, because most of them are shitty and short-tempered and snotty. She was very nice, but the way she there's no way she could have authorized that type of travel voucher. That was from the airline. It was like these dummies that run companies. If you handle a problem like that, people, I know there's problems. It happens.
Yep.
The way you handle it is everything. And now I have a good feeling about the airline because they were nice to me when they fucked up.
Good experience.
That's all. Yeah, I mean,
See?
I'm not that irrational. United, I had such an abominable experience with, and I finally got my money back. But just the way they fought me at every fucking turn.
Of course they
you can't get anybody on the phone.
Stand them.
And the story that you're talking about is
Unbelievable.
What happened to you?
No, it
not
wasn't me.
Anthony.
This is this. Well, I just fucking hate United. They're pricks. Their planes are old. They suck, and they're grouchy people that work there. Can't stand them. Well, this is a story about a couple of parents put their 10-year-old daughter on the plane, and I guess United is supposed to, like any other airline, have some kind of a person. There's an actual thing with airlines where if you're flying some kid, they're supposed to have an adult that chaperones the child from the plane through the transfer process and shit like that.
she had a connection from
Connecting flight.
Where was she going? From where?
She was
Traverse
going,
City, Michigan, where she was supposed to wind up.
and she connected in Chicago.
Yeah,
That's the United hub. She was going through Chicago hub
Yes.
connection.
Jesus Christ.
And there's supposed to be somebody there to meet the kid right at the plane, take the kid to the other flight, and make sure everything's hunky-dory. And the parents told the kid, don't go with anyone unless they have a United badge, and this person will meet you here, and here's everything that's going to happen. Well, there was no one there to meet the kid because they sub out the work for these chaperones. They're not even United employees. They fucking get some scrubs. I'm sure also, if they took the time to do a background check on these people, they'd find pedos all over the place.
That's not true.
Oh, no, Uncle Paul.
She was supposed to get on a flight from Michigan, and I said, hello, Phoebe.
Phoebe?
You look like you need a little nap.
A nap?
So we left the airport.
But the plane, it was a connecting flight. The plane was leaving.
Nah, I told him she's going to be a little while. She needs a bath and a nap. She's tired. You can't get to camp all cranky. So we went to a motel, and I was giving her a bath.
Yeah.
I was washing her.
That wouldn't work. The
Yeah.
child had to get to a connecting flight.
Yeah, I was washing her good.
And the parents then had no idea.
Oh, those busybodies were very angry. Not even a thank you, Paul. She smells good. Thanks, Paul. You wiped her tears right away.
No more tears shampoo, was it?
Oh, boy.
Not the shampoo making the tears.
Sure.
Yes, of course.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Look at the little United seat donut you gave her.
That's terrible.
I gave her a little donut to sit on so her bottom didn't get sore on the plane. Phoebe.
Little Phoebe.
Sure.
Yeah, the parents then had no idea where their kid was, and called United for an answer. Was just put on hold. Like your fucking kids. Hi, my kid's missing. They sent them first. They send the call over to India to their call center in India, like it's lost luggage. Or it's like, I want a fucking voucher because something happened. No, it's a missing kid. And they send it to the call center in India.
There are, people, these big dumb companies are not understanding what the beatings and how many people are finding out immediately on social networking. They're not handling social networking well at all.
This is the beauty of social networking is the fact that now everyone is getting a voice. It's not just the people that have radio shows and can say, hey, this company sucks and fuck me over. Now, as long as it catches on and kind of people can rally around something, any old Joe can just get on there and tweet something that something happened and make a big deal of it.
If it's a story that feels legit and not just some disgruntled idiot complaining, and this one felt legitimate.
Yep.
The Progressive Insurance one feels very legit.
It's so infuriating. We'll wrap this one up with they found their kid.
Yeah.
Good. They finally.
Where was the kid?
Nah, she was no worse for wear. Never mind you. Where was she? Never mind you, Joseph. Mind your goddamn business.
Because there was no
the
no
greeter
person there
forgot to show up
to greet the kid. The kid missed the fucking flight. Missed the connecting flight. Yeah. And the kid was asking, walked up to the counter and said, look, I have a connecting flight. I'm supposed to meet it. And they were like, all right, just wait. And missed the connecting flight.
Because they're disinterested, shitty employees. And the kid and the parents called the airport, and they finally got people on the phone. And then one person goes, well, my shift is ending, so I have to go. And they finally appealed to the person as a parent. Like, this is our kid. And then 15 minutes later, they talk. But what fucking pigs. That whole industry is just filled with disinterested postal employee mentality.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And they got you by the balls. I remember, Air Canada can just fucking...
They're terrible.
They're the fucking worst cunts that ever walked on this earth. And I remember one time I was flying Air Canada, and it was the same old fucking horse shit with them. Everything was late. Nothing was working on time. All this horse shit. And I'm at the counter yelling at the guy, going, tell me why we are going to be late and why we're not boarding. And he's going, sir, it's no interest of yours right now. I'm just telling you. And I go, the fucking plane is out. I see the fucking plane at the gate.
Security.
Exactly.
We have a problem. Security.
Exactly. Yeah. And he goes, if you keep it up, we're not going to let you on the plane. And I had a show that night, and it's like, you have to sit there.
Have you fucked. Since 9/11, they've taken what is supposed to be security and your own safety and things like that and perverted it into this ultimate power trip where a scumbag scrub employee now has the power to fuck your life over if you get them a little annoyed.
They're fucking scumbags. They should be ashamed of themselves what they did after 9/11. They got free money. They got fucking sympathy. Oh, yeah. They took it, and they used it as a way to further hustle the public.
To further fuck everybody
over. Disgusting people. Yeah. They all have this attitude. Every airline employee has the same attitude of like a fucking pothead sound man at a music club. Like, hey, man.
That's great. Yes.
No worries, man. We'll get there when we get there. And it's like, no, I got shit to do, you fucking cocksucker.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's why I'm flying and not taking a Conestoga wagon. I'm in a hurry.
I hate it, dude. I wish the whole industry would collapse. I wouldn't give a fuck if I could never fly anywhere for the rest of my life. No. Let it fucking collapse.
None of them. The problem is, like, when this woman at American came on the plane and gave me that voucher, it was like she was just being nice. The nice part of that was, like, I fly so much. I see so much shit behavior by these people. The fact that somebody went out of their way to acknowledge, like, yeah, the airline screwed up and here's something nice. It's like that should be commonplace,
right?
Yes. The public is fucking unbearable too, because the airline deals with the same shitheads that we deal with in audiences who go like, I was just laughing when they were talking. Right. So the airline has to deal with people trying to dope fiend them for free shit. But they don't seem to know the difference between when they're legitimately at fault and when someone's being a cocksucker passenger.
They've taken away every bit of comfort and just customer service, anything that is supposed to be there when you're taking people's money and supposed to give them a service is now just gone. They're doing you a fucking favor now.
That's why I think that when somebody does a gesture like they did for you, $1,000 travel voucher, I really think that's somebody going, I'm gonna fucking fuck this fucking airline, these cunts. And they do something and they go, what are you gonna do? And I had a guy once. I went to the wrong airport in the morning, and you know that, like, the worst feeling ever. My stomach just sank. I was pulling up to the airport, and I was like, I need to be in Newark, and I'm at JFK. I fucked up. I just fucked.
Yeah,
it was like
spaced out, right?
Yeah, it was the worst. You know, and I'm like, I'm not going to make my gig. I was freaking out.
Oof.
And I went into the guy and I go, please, dude. I just go, I'm begging you. I need your sympathy. And he started laughing. He goes, dude, just pay me $50. I'll get you on this plane. Don't worry about it.
Oh shit!
You gave him $50?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was a fee. It wasn't like I slipped him.
I thought it was like, hey, dude, $50. I get you on a fucking plane.
No, but on the
$100, I'll take as much cocaine as you want me to.
Right. Yeah, but like on the phone when I called, they were going, okay, it's going to be $150 change fee. You're going to pay the flight difference. I'm like, this is going to cost you like $700. Are you joking right now?
Man.
Like, you have seats available. And they go, just talk to the guy at the desk. So when I got there, the guy at the desk goes, all you got to do is pay $50 and we'll fix it.
That's pretty goddamn good. You were fucked.
What airline was it?
I think that was Delta. And I've been in screaming matches with Delta. Screaming matches, trying to get out of flights because somebody died, and they're going, we need to see a death certificate. And all this shit. Like, I know, dude. Like, it's literally like fucking Rooney and Ferris Bueller. Why don't you roll our old bones in here? We'll change your flight. And I like just screaming at them. And I was like, there's no and I went into it, like you said, like ready to be angry, even though it was my fault.
Yeah.
And this fucking angel of a man was like, I'll help you. You know?
Yeah, that's what you need once in a while. Somebody just to be reasonable and nice with you. And when they don't deal with you like people, I'm telling you, that's why people snap so much at work, at the post office, because you're a number. You're not being treated like a person. Yeah. And it's like, and I'm not justifying these mentally ill fucking waste, but you do understand how people at least throw punches at people, like, and fucking drill an airline employee in the fucking face.
Well, I do not like the idea that in the airline industry you can't voice a complaint there at the airport without coming off like you're a fucking terrorist. You're fucking. They always pull that. Hey, you want to fucking, you want to get on this plane? Hey, you want me to take you off this plane? You want me to? It's like really. We've gotten down to where if I have a problem, you're going to threaten the flight. You're going to threaten my fucking transportation that I'm paying for.
They're scumbags.
Twitter's the best weapon. It sounds like it's not, but they do notice that shit. And when they see 70 or 100 or 200 bad, they will address you. Like, they will address you. It's like they can't not, and they do. So I think that they don't know how to deal with this social networking, and it's like it does help people not get fucked by companies, because airlines are just these. They don't care. I told this fucking scumbag from Hawaii. He told me where he was from. I'm like, because it was. I went through the story already, but I'm like, you're gonna lose me for good on United. I told him, you're gonna lose me as a customer over what I was saying was $400. I'm like, you want me to eat that and not the airline? Well, sir, we don't tell you what monies to spend.
Monies.
Scumbag.
He said monies.
He said monies.
Ugh.
This scumbag was going to just let me walk for $400 because he doesn't give a fuck. But you attacked him on Twitter hard enough, and then all of a sudden they see it and they do address you. And they do address you.
Dude, yeah, they're United is bad. In fact, I bought it when my mom got sick. I had 2 tickets. I had 2 gigs I had to cancel, so I had 2 tickets that were non-refundable. And Delta, I believe, they were like, look, it's okay. Like, just take the money and, you got a voucher. Don't worry about it. United, I sent them this long email saying I can provide medical records, whatever, and they never even responded to me. They just never responded.
That's their terrible.
So I just ate the ticket.
Customer care department. The best way to do it is to write an email and CC the top officers, because now that you don't. The first time I ever did this, I was writing letters, and I was actually mailed out 15 letters that I demanded a receipt of signature for. The Continental fucked me one time so bad.
You're hilarious.
I was so aggravated. I did that, and they changed company policy.
Wow.
But you got to CC the top officers, because then the other people below them see that these guys have been CC'd, and they might come and go, what's being done about this? Because once in a while, you'll get like one of the top 3 or 4 or 5 people in the company. If they see a complaint, they do care, because they're not the scrubs. They don't deal with it's Jeff Smizek at fucking United doesn't deal with these things.
I love that you know his name.
His name I know.
Hell yeah.
He was the Continental
and
CEO.
he probably knows Jimmy's.
By this time, yeah. But I mean, that guy does not deal with the day-to-day bullshit. So when something passes his eyes and he looks at it, he may go, what is this?
Yeah.
So then they have to kind of
assholes dealing with this fucking problem.
That happened a few weeks ago with Aetna. Somebody tweeted the CEO of Aetna. Well, he was just, saying at Aetna, about how he's got cancer and he's got millions of dollars in bills, and his health insurance isn't going to cover it up to a certain point. And the CEO read his tweets and he said, "We're going to take care of you. We're going to cover all of your expenses because the health insurance system is broken and this shouldn't be happening to you, and we're going to help you out."
Wow.
So yeah, you're right. If the right person the guy up top sees it,
And if enough people, I mean, that's where we're lucky, where we have more followers, when we're able to talk.
Yeah.
Like, do you always fly first class? By getting bumped up or in the contract? I know, not with Leno, I mean club gigs.
When I'm paying for it, I'll either upgrade with miles, I'll fly on miles, or I'll pay for it. But I pay for very few flights overall, so it's worth it to me. It's a write-off.
But it's almost impossible to get bumped up now.
Yeah, that's why United, that merger, that fucking airline sucks my dick.
Oh, I gotta tell
Continental was pretty good.
Yeah.
United is fucking.
What's wrong?
They're just terrible.
I've flown United a bunch of times.
My miles are expiring. Continental miles never did.
Oh,
they're
okay.
just.
What do you mean expiring?
They're just.
If you don't use them, they're expiring? What do you mean?
No, in mid-use, they actually kick you off the plane. They'll only fly you halfway to L.A. They boot you out over Minneapolis.
But how could they expire your miles?
Exactly. I don't know. They're absolutely terrible.
Let me tell you about those scumbags, United. I had a pair.
But who else could you fly? We're
I-
running out of
You're right.
options.
American or Delta, I've been flying.
We're running out of options.
Do you know how bad you have to fuck up to lose me as that airline? How loyal I was for years.
Loyal, you got us all involved.
I got him involved
I didn't
in
give
Continental.
I didn't give a
hooked him
fuck
up.
about flying until Jimmy started telling us. Now we all do what you do.
They don't care.
When I flew, I had those sunglasses you told me, the Maui Jacks that were like $300.
You got them.
No, not anymore. They were stolen out of my golf bag, along with another thing, a harness.
You told the story already.
No, I didn't tell the story.
I think Bonnie told us.
No, but here's the thing. Maybe I did. I don't know. All I know is I'm not getting the money back. But they caught the TSA agents in Newark that were stealing the stuff. Okay.
TNB?
What's that?
TSA?
Yeah, TSA.
Yeah.
They caught them. They caught them.
Sneaky.
But yet my stuff was
That ain't
stolen.
sneaky.
And
But
I don't
is
get anything
United,
back.
hold on, if it's a TSA agent and not a United employee, wouldn't that be the TSA
No,
you have to go
I
after?
handed my bags to United. I didn't hand them to TSA.
Point being,
that's
you,
true.
you wanted your glasses back. Say, hey, you
Yeah,
know
I
who
just-
stole them, so give them back.
Do they find they prove that he took your stuff, or they just know an agent was stealing?
An agent was stealing. Same thing happened in Miami. I had stuff stolen in Miami. And then 2 months later, I read Miami TSA agent arrested for stealing electronics and stuff.
So what's their response?
No, we don't cover sunglasses. We don't cover. Just a list of things they don't cover.
It's all the stuff they steal.
It's It's in like if you
and that's
look at
why they
this,
steal it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, so they don't cover it. So you basically, if you have something stolen, like they don't cover electronics. So if you have something electronics stolen out of your suitcase, you better say pants. You know, and these are the people. What?
Just a mid-story cough.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm just. It's furious.
It is
Infuriating.
It's furious. It is.
It is furious.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, Southwest, you want to fly them, but you're scared.
Why would you want
Because they don't have a hub, so it's like, you know, how do they work on it? They land and go, hey, does anybody have a hammer we could borrow, or you know, we got to work on the plane. Do any of you guys have a lift that we could use? Because where do they work on their planes? They don't have a
Yeah,
hub.
I'm not even going to deal with that airline.
Southwest.
Remember
doesn't
the
have
old
a hub.
days with the new airlines, and you go to this weird part of the airport that they just kind of set up a makeshift place to check in. Like, what the fuck am I flying?
I love walking down
Yeah,
memory
kiosk
lane with
in
you.
the food court.
Right, exactly.
I used to People's Express used to pay on the plane.
People's Express.
So
I remember
I was doing drugs, and I'd get on the plane with no money because I did.
I'm gonna make believe I've never heard this story before.
Did I tell it?
I actually don't know the story.
Huh?
I don't know
I'm
the story.
sorry.
No, I don't know the story.
I'm sorry, and I'll make believe I don't watch you in your nose half the show.
He's quick.
Okay. All
You know you're gonna get.
Oh, my
you know
God.
you're gonna get a beating back if you go after Rich.
But you have to.
But you have to because he is a quick
here's
motherfucker.
the thing, because
no,
you
tell
got
the people
so many
story
new
again.
listeners.
Dude,
I
it was
don't
a
fucking know.
joke. What we were just joking the other day. We tell the same 5 stories a million times.
Oh,
so we do the same shit.
I just didn't have any money, and because I do it on spend on drugs. And then I would call the club owner and say, "Meet me at the airline and pay for my ticket," because they would come down the aisle to collect the money, and you go, "Oh, I forgot my wallet." Or
It was
something.
the weirdest thing.
No ID you didn't need back then? Wow.
No, man. I would fly to I guess Buffalo at the time on People's Airline. It was the weirdest thing. You actually paid on the plane.
Hey, Rich, I found your wallet. You must have left it over my house.
And that's Continental bought People's.
They did.
Yeah, that's who Continental took over. People's.
And it was cheap too. How much was a flight?
Like there were flights for $19.
Yeah.
19 to like Buffalo or Boston.
Wow,
that's
crazy.
about right.
$19. There was some for 29.
Way less than 100. I remember that.
And United is so. This merger makes me
It's not a
fucking
merger,
sick.
it's a takeover.
Yeah.
Because so many
I know.
Continental
Serious.
employees got
Did take
fired.
over XM.
Terrible.
They say merger.
Yeah, it is
That's
like the
bull-
XM Sirius
God.
merger, and meanwhile,
Hank,
this-
they were-
we're the last bastion of XM
I
left.
don't see an XM sign anywhere.
Oh no, they would love to just chop the XM off the Sirius XM
Yeah.
logo.
Oh, I do see it.
Really brilliant on their part.
And they
Good
Get rid
move.
of all the creative people. That's smart.
That was the fantastic management at XM was fucking.
Well, the management sucked, but there
Bunch
was
of
some
fucking
creativity over
pussies.
there that
how do you
Sirius
lose
didn't acknowledge.
Yeah.
the
So they got rid
giant
of everybody. And
the
then just
giant
decided to pay
lead.
one fucking
Financial
guy
lead,
who doesn't even do
technological
radio
lead.
anymore.
It's amazing.
subscription lead?
Does maybe 4 shows a fucking month while everyone else suffers and
Amazing.
haven't had a raise in years.
What's
What's up, Rich? What happened?
Poor Sam.
What happened?
He's the only one who still has hopes and dreams. And
Sam?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit'll go
look at
away.
him. He's got that youth, and things are going to
He's
get
30.
better.
What youth?
Youth.
He hit 30, and look, he's slumping already.
Yeah.
You're 30?
29.
Exactly.
That's 30.
That's 30.
Yeah, it's not as optimistic.
He's
as
got to
it-
work hard. He's got to work hard and hope because he's got a girl that's out of his league. So
Yeah.
he's got to fucking, he's got that going for him, which means things
is
like
nice.
fucking house and everything else. So, he's fucked. He knows it. He's fucked.